I think, Kevin, the first thing we have to do, though, is announce the breaking news of George Pickens receiving the franchise tag from your Dallas Cowboys. Now the clock is on, whether they can get a deal done. But you know how the Cowboys work in this situation. They will probably, most likely, take as much time as they can. Use this in lots of different avenues for marketing, for one, but also for the negotiation process. But they've been very adamant all along. This is very different, in my opinion, than it was with Micah.
Tell me.
It seems like they really do want Pickens, based on what they've said.
And you thought Micah was just like, let's delay this as long as possible and keep him on the team?
Yeah, but it does seem like they really do want it, and they already have had a meeting, according to Todd Archer, with his people to have general conversations about the future of this. But that's where we are right now with the George Pickens news, which we did learn pretty much like 3 months ago that he was going to get the franchise tag.
Fair enough. I will say, I think it was 2 days ago, Nick Harris said something that, I mean, he's a wealth of information, and I'm sure he's right about this, but I hated what he said because he goes, and then it becomes a scramble, and let's see if you can get it done before the July 15th deadline. No. The deadline is March the 9th. Mm-hmm. All right? Because that, I believe, that is when you can start the legal tampering period, March the 10th.
Okay.
Maybe it is March 9th. I'm sorry. March the 9th or March the 10th.
It's the Ides of March. Or
I will get this figured out. Hopefully it turns out better for us. But, I hate the idea that you need to get it done by July 15th. Why? So what are you going to do with that money now? I want them to get it done by July 9th because let's talk about this real quick. It's $28 million on the franchise tag, right? And here's the thing. You can't manipulate that whatsoever. Now, maybe George Pickens wants a 4-year, $128 million deal. Maybe it's $132 million. I don't know. But we've been kind of equating it to Terry McLaurin in terms of $32 million per year. And I know you might be like, oh, franchise tag is 28, not 32. That's better. But if you do a long-term deal, you can manipulate those numbers and I think get them down to like 17, maybe $18 million. So what's really happening, and sorry if I'm a broken record on this, but I believe this a lot, is if you get the long-term deal done for somebody that everyone's like, oh yeah, we want to have him here for a really, really long time and all that great, that's great. You can save $10 to $11 million on your salary cap by doing the long-term deal versus the franchise tag. And you can put it into action now, not put it into action in July when you're like, put it into action for who? Put it into action now, whether, you have people that you're nervous about Nakobe Dean, or whether it's somebody that, Devin Lloyd, maybe you're going to go and get, put that money into action now if this is really somebody that you really want to keep. I realize it takes two sides to make that happen. And I don't know the insides of what the specific demands are right now. But I would love to see the Cowboys make a real push to get this done before March 9th.
Okay, me too. And because, you just dropped all the names of people that I'm interested in that we could possibly sign. We're going to be going through those next week, as a matter of fact, Kevin.
Yes.
Some of the free agents that we're hoping to steal, snag, and have on this team that could be leaders, depth, whatever it is. I would like to sign starters if possible. Sign starters, draft starters.
Devin Lloyd.
That would be a nice. Do not do this.
I am going to do this.
What are you doing right now?
Look, fine.
Do not.
I'm going to do
tease me like that.
Okay, we can make it happen. By the way, we'll probably skip.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, for Devin Lloyd, whatever it takes.
Man. I don't know what that...
I almost said cut off my arm, but then I was like, well,
what?
Hold on. If that actually happens, I don't want to have to cut my arm off.
From the 940, again, I'm going to try not to be a broken record here, but somebody asked, are we really over the cap by $55 million right now? That's a fake number.
Fake news.
I'm not going to say
Kevin
that.
Said.
The way the Cowboys set up their contracts and flip the switches, we've talked about this numerous times, can easily have you $70 million under the cap, but we've gone over that in long form. I'm going to skip that rehash right now. And instead, you know what? Since we were going to talk about it, let's talk about it with Devin Lloyd right now. Estimates between 3 years, $48 and $60 million. Now, those estimates, whether they come from Pro Football Focus or Spotrac or wherever else, doesn't necessarily mean that has to be the way it's going to play out, though they were pretty spot on. Spotrac was with Javonte, said 3 for 22, and it ended up being 3 for 24. And Javonte is a great example of 3 for 24, $8 million per year, right? His cap hit for this upcoming season is $3.95 million. So that's a great example of how you can manipulate the salary cap to do your bidding. And I don't really care if it screws you over in the future because we don't win anything when we're not screwing over our salary cap. So why not try something different?
That's exactly what the Cowboys should be saying to themselves.
Agreed. Devin Lloyd has posted a, take this for what you will, Pro Football Focus overall grade of 75 each of the past 3 seasons. Culminating this past season, we had a career best 89.1 mark. That was second highest among all qualifying linebackers. He was second team All-Pro, and shifting back to Pro Football Focus, the only linebacker to have an 80-plus grade as a run defender, pass rusher, and in coverage.
Oh, what did he do in coverage, Kevin?
He had 5 interceptions, right?
Seems pretty good.
That's for that position. That
seems pretty damn good.
Insane. So
a 99 yards touchdown return.
That's right. That's right. Would you be willing? Let's push the envelope here. Would you be willing to do the 3 for 60, maybe 4 for 80 on Devin Lloyd? I'll have to crunch some more numbers to determine the guarantee, but let's go with that as an outline for now.
Yes. You want me to add a second-team All-Pro to this team that has no All-Pros on the defensive side of the ball except for a guy they traded for? Yes. Give me another All-Pro. Give me 2 more All-Pros if you can find them. I'd love it. His responsibilities did change a little more last year.
Fair.
Which kind of changed some of the numbers that he had.
Kind of seems like it made him better.
Yes. Those numbers are going to be what you would see if he was here. Now, I know kind of the same position that he can play the same position that Leafau and Ezraku can play. So maybe they're looking at that going, no, that's a perfect fit for here. But he also can do other responsibilities across the entire defense linebacking group, which makes him very appealing and attractive to me.
I have a couple more questions for you guys as we've learned a lot of new Cowboys information at the NFL Combine. Big thank you to Brian Broaddus, Sean, RJ, and Bobby for bringing us a lot of that information. All right. I asked you guys this question in our text chain last night, and I would love for you to illuminate it with the audience. So the Cowboys are planning to use a second-round restricted free agent tender on excuse me, sorry, I didn't push the button, on TJ Bass. That's for $5.8 million. So essentially, that would be the slot for his salary this season, unless another team came in and was like, oh, I can do that. I can do better than that. And then they would have to pass along their second-round pick for this upcoming draft. So the option is this. Either no team picks up Bass or Aubrey, or I tell you both of them sign elsewhere with a team that has a pick in the first half of the second round. Because you get their corresponding second-round pick, so somebody who's at the top of the second round could feel way different about that compensation than at the bottom of the second round.
For both Aubrey and Bass, or just Bass?
So either for both.
Okay. So we have to keep both or send both.
Correct.
I'll take 2 second-round picks. Now, it does sound...
I get it, because then you'd have 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
It does sound like there's a different conversation happening. It sounds like there's a lot of miscommunication. Am I wrong about this regarding Brandon Aubrey's
See, I actually
numbers?
Don't think there... I mean, look, I'm going to go off of Broaddus, who said what he heard was $10 million was, in fact, the initial asking price for Aubrey. The part where I believe it was him and his wife came in and said fake, and Calvin Watkins put out a nice apology video about it, is he said 7.5. It sounds like it's closer to 6.7 or 6.8 is what they offer.
Okay, and the 10 may have been an agent start.
Sure.
But not necessarily what Brandon Aubrey even thought. But again, this is... So where all that is... If he's paid a reasonable price, I'd love to have him back. $10 million ask is a lot for me, but...
And we talked about he doesn't have leverage in this situation either.
Right, but if I have to... I need 2 second-round picks. I need 2 second-round picks.
Because you would lose depth with Bass and obviously you would lose a weapon with Aubrey. You'd go into the draft with 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
Yes.
Which that changes the dynamic.
We go get us a Caleb Downs if we want to, boys.
Alec,
hold on, right now. I want everybody to know.
Yesterday we can't have
everybody to know you cannot go get Caleb Downs. You're not going to if you don't have any second-round picks. All right, he's not falling to you. Give up on it. Most people in the NFL should give up on the idea that they're going to have a Caleb Downs.
Okay. Alex, should I assume, given all the draft prep and the potential for second-round grades we've been handing out, you would also be okay with letting them both move on down the road?
I responded to your text by saying they can both catch the quickest flight to Cleveland out of DFW for all I care. If I'm getting 2 second-round picks, yes, give me Jacob Rodriguez. You can package those and go get Caleb Downs. So many options open up if I have that capital.
And then one more quick question. We have a lot more Cowboys questions, but we'll move that for another segment. Were you concerned at all that Shoddy didn't talk to George Pickens or hadn't talked to George Pickens prior to them making the decision to put the franchise tag on him? Or do you think they talked at the end of the year and they're like, we're probably going to put the franchise tag on him? He's like, all right.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about it because it's everything to me sounds like Schottenheimer's very open to these guys about everything along the way. He's also keeping in touch with them for the same purposes of this isn't just a job we do and then leave. It's a brotherhood. You know, that he wanted to build that. You got to build a winning culture, Kevin. From Jorge all the way up to Bob. You know, you gotta make sure everybody in the room is talked to at some point. So no, I'm not concerned about it. He's the kind of guy that does that kind of thing. Now, whether or not he's convinced George to be the same kind of person, different deal.